The Grand Galactic Summit was supposed to be peaceful. Thousands of species gathered inside the Crystal Dome Hall above the gas giant Veluna Prime. Every year, they discussed laws, trade, future tech, and new alliances. This time, however, there was a different mood. Every alien empire felt stronger, richer, and more confident than ever. Only one species sat quietly near the edge of the long curved table. Humans. They did not speak. They did not argue. They did not demand anything. They watched. The alien delegations thought humans were weak. Humans were always calm in meetings. Humans preferred peace. Humans talked soft. They never started fights. So the galaxy assumed this meant weakness. They believed humans lacked power, lacked fire, lacked anger. Inside the dome, laughter broke out when the speaker of the Zaloth Empire pointed at humanity's corner. Humans. Why are you even here this year? He said loud enough so every live broadcast camera could hear. You bring nothing to the galaxy. You never win wars. You never create fear. You are slow. You are simple. You are harmless. Entire sections of the hall laughed with him. Even the Federation of Thorn joined the mockery. The Drask staff officers exchanged jokes about Earth. The Gal Empire called humans soft meat. Human representatives did not react. They only listened. One human admiral sat in silence, his face calm, his posture relaxed, his uniform clean. Nothing about him looked dangerous. Nothing about him looked violent. He looked like a simple man, but his eyes were dead still, silent, hard, controlled, like a volcano under ice waiting. He was Admiral Kieran Soul, a man who had seen the burning of worlds, a man who understood something the aliens never learned. Humans do not show anger as it grows. They show anger at the end, when it is already too late for the enemy. The cameras kept filming him. Millions across the galaxy watched the stream. Comment sections filled with jokes about human, fearless silence. They thought humans were embarrassed, powerless. The Zealoth speaker continued, humans cannot do anything. They never use force. They only talk. Their little planet should stay silent forever. That moment, something inside Admiral Kieran shifted. Not rage, not panic, but a decision, a line crossed. Humans never start wars. That is truth, but humans end wars. That is destiny, Kieran whispered to his second officer, a young woman beside him. Record their words, he said softly. Every insult, every mockery. Earth must see this. She nodded without changing her expression. She understood. All humans in that hall understood. This was no longer diplomacy. This was now a countdown. The summit continued for hours. More speeches, more arrogance, more insults, more attacks on Earth's status. Humans remained silent. Every alien believed this silence meant defeat. They did not understand human anger was patient. Human anger was strategic. Human anger was not a flare of emotion. Human anger was a calm, controlled weapon that activates at the perfect moment. When the summit ended, every species walked out confident they had put humans in their place forever. They thought humanity would now become even more passive, even more quiet, even more controlled. But deep inside Saul, in his mind, a switch had already flipped. Back on Earth, in old military archives, there existed something the galaxy never discovered. Secret human doctrines written after humanity survived their own darkest wars. Rules designed not for war, but for retaliation when pushed beyond limit. And the aliens just crossed that limit. When Admiral Kieran returned to his ship, he stood alone at the bridge view window, watching the stars stretch like silver veins across the void. He placed his hand on the glass slowly. Let them laugh today, he whispered. His voice had no emotion. Soon, they will understand what human anger truly means. Far away, Earth Command received the recorded insults. Earth's High Council listened quietly. No one needed to debate. No one needed to argue. Humans always obeyed one ancient principle passed from generation to generation, written in silence, not words. Do not wake human wrath. In that moment, humanity decided, not loud, not public, cold, silent. War would not start tomorrow. It had already started the moment they laughed. and the galaxy did not even realize the danger they activated. Human ships began changing encrypted mode. Black protocols awakened. Old codes unlocked. Every hidden thing that humans kept beneath their peaceful face began to move behind shadows. The galaxy thought humans were weak. They would now learn what rage looked like when it belonged to a species that mastered patience, survival, and controlled fury. Human anger was not loud. Human anger was the quiet storm that appears without warning and leaves nothing standing. This was only the beginning. The next day after the Grand Summit humiliation, every news network across the galaxy replayed the moment over and over again. The aliens enjoyed watching the laughter. They enjoyed watching humans sit silent while empires mocked them. It became trending everywhere. They believed humans were truly weak, but while the galaxy laughed, Earth prepared. Far below the surface of Mars, beneath layers of red dust and rock, there existed an old sealed vault. It was older than most empires in the galaxy. The vault was never listed in any map. No alien scanner ever detected it. Only the highest level humans even knew it existed. They called it the Black Box of Mars. Inside this vault rested a protocol built for only one purpose. If the galaxy ever decided to humiliate humanity, Earth would answer. Admiral Kieran Sewell arrived at Mars using a silent transport ship. No escort, no grand fleet, nothing that would draw attention. The red planet looked calm, dry, abandoned on the surface. But deep underneath, it held humanity's most dangerous secret. Two Earth officers guided him to a massive door buried inside a canyon. The metal was dark, ancient and cold, like it survived centuries waiting. The door had no words on it. Only a single symbol burned faintly in blue light. Humanity endures. Kieran placed his palm against the scanner. The vault unlocked. The ground shook. Dust rose. The ancient system awoke. Inside, long corridor lights turned one by one, each light deeper and deeper until the end disappeared into darkness. Kieran walked forward. His steps echoed like the footsteps of a ghost moving inside a tomb. In the heart of the vault stood a cube device, the size of a small room. Black, silent, perfectly smooth. No wires, no switches. This was the box that should never open. Beside it, a terminal powered up and displayed one question. Are you sure? For thousands of years, humanity survived countless wars, disasters, monsters, plagues, extinctions. Every time they came back stronger, every time they rebuilt. They learned something no alien species ever learned. Kindness is a choice, but anger is a weapon. Kieran stared at the question, a long, silent moment. He remembered the laughing galaxy. He remembered the mocking leaders. He remembered how humanity kept peace for centuries and still was treated as trash. Slowly, Kieran answered, yes. The black box opened. Silent energy rippled outward. It did not glow bright. It did not explode. It released a cold pulse that spread through every hidden human system across the solar system. Old fleets beneath the surface of Europa awakened. Silent satellites around Earth began transmitting to bunkers no alien knew existed. Deep inside lunar caverns, dormant human dreadnoughts powered up. These ships were never made for exploration. They were made for revenge. This was not wild fury. This was quiet engineered wrath. Earth Command received confirmation. The black box was activated. Human High Council members did not celebrate. They did not cheer. They did not call war declarations. They simply said one sentence every commander learned as a child. Remember, humans never start war. We end it. On the other side of the galaxy, alien empires had no idea what just happened. They still believed humans were harmless. They were still busy laughing on their news networks. But on Earth, the storm was building. Kieran returned to his personal war room. Maps floated before him. Every star system with alien empires was marked. Every fleet position of each enemy was analyzed. Every weakness they ever showed was recorded. Humans studied enemies not for fear, but for preparation. A young officer approached Kieran. Sir, is this the moment history changes? Kieran did not smile. He simply nodded. This is the moment the galaxy finally learns what a human looks like when anger is controlled. The officer swallowed. The room felt heavier. Entire space around them felt like pressure was rising silently. Not because humans were emotional, but because humans were unlocking something ancient inside their nature. Far away, on Mars' surface, the vault closed again. The black box would not open again. It already served its purpose. Human anger was no longer sleeping. Kieran transmitted one classified order to Earth and every hidden human system. Initiate retaliation stage 1. Target the fleet that insulted us first. That fleet belonged to the Zaloth Empire. The same empire leader who mocked humanity at the summit. Humans would not destroy the entire empire first. They would destroy one. Fleet, clean, precise, surgical. To send a message the galaxy would never forget. Human ships began gathering in dark space behind Jupiter. Their engines were silent, their signatures invisible. They waited like predators inside shadows. The galaxy believed humans were weak. Soon, they would see how wrong they were. 3 standard days later, the galaxy continued living in arrogance. The Zaloth Empire fleet that insulted humanity at the summit was celebrating their victory. They believed they embarrassed Earth forever. They believed they proved humans were nothing. Their fleet floated near the Nebra Rift Cluster, a region filled with unstable gravity pockets. They were not preparing for battle. They were relaxed. They were not even scanning for enemies. Why would they? In their mind, humans were weak. Humans were slow. Humans could not attack. But humans were already in position. Far behind Jupiter orbit, a formation of black human warships stood silent like statues. Not one engine blast, not one active scanner. These ships were designed for only one purpose: destroy swiftly, strike without warning, and leave no trace. This was not a Fury attack. This was a calculated surgical response. Admiral Kieran Soul watched their formation through the war tactical screen. His face still calm, not aggressive, not emotional. Human anger did not show on the surface. Human anger was quiet, cold, controlled, sharp like a blade. "Target locked," said the tactical officer. Kieran gave one simple order: begin. Human ships vanished from Jupiter in a flash jump. In seconds they appeared behind the Zaloth fleet. The aliens did not detect anything until it was too late. Their sensors screamed alarm after alarm. Their screens flooded with unknown signatures. "Impossible," the Zaloth commander shouted. "Humans cannot teleport across this distance. Their tech is primitive." But even that final sentence never finished fully. The first human projectile launched. Human weapons were not shiny, colorful beams like alien empires used. Human weapons were silent rods of compressed metal, fired at impossible relativistic velocity. They did not emit light. They did not glow. They simply punched through shields and hull like the universe ignored physics for one moment. One shot. One ship gone, then another shot. Another ship gone. Every Zaloth ship shattered in seconds. Their shields were useless. Their armor might as well have been paper. Alien crew members panicked. They tried retreat. They tried jamming. They tried sending distress call. Nothing worked. Humans used weapons built from Earth's most brutal survival history. The galaxy was not prepared for this type of warfare. Humans did not use war to show strength. Humans used war to erase threats. Human ships moved like ghosts. They never stayed in one place. They jumped micro-jumps inside battlefield, like predators teleporting from shadow to shadow. Zaloth weapons fired at empty space. They had no idea where to aim. In less than 4 minutes, 39 ships were gone. Only one remained. Admiral Kieran ordered the last ship to be left alive intentionally. The surviving Zaloth ship shook in fear. Their crew could not breathe properly. Their hearts raced. Their screens flickered with warnings they did not understand. Kieran sent a direct transmission to that final ship. His voice was calm. "Do not misunderstand this action. Humans do not enjoy violence. Humans do not chase war. But if you insult humanity, if you provoke us, then the only thing you have awakened is a storm you cannot survive." The Zaloth commander trembled. Kieran continued. "Go. Run. Tell your empire this message. Tell the galaxy this message. Humans are done being insulted. Humans will not bow to anyone. The surviving ship fled faster than any recorded escape ever seen in war history. They returned to their empire screaming in horror, not courage. Human fleet did not chase. Human fleet simply turned away and vanished back into deep space. Earth did not brag. Earth did not announce victory. Earth did not post threats to the galaxy. Humans just waited for the reaction. Within the next cycle, the entire galaxy knew what happened. Every news channel reported the destruction of Zaloth fleet. Every empire gathered emergency meeting. Fear spread faster than light waves. This was the first time in thousands of years. The galaxy felt true terror, not because of war casualties, but because humans destroyed a full battle fleet in minutes, without losing a single ship. The alien leaders who laughed at humans at the summit were silent now, their faces pale, their calm destroyed, their hearts filled with fear. If humans could do this to one fleet, what could humans do to an empire? That was the question that now haunted every species. Humans had not even begun real retaliation yet. What they just did was only the first strike. Kieran stood on his flagship, staring into the stars. This was only a reminder, he said to his officers. Next stage will begin soon. Humanity did not want control. Humanity wanted respect. And if the galaxy would only understand respect through fear, then fear would be delivered. The galactic balance changed in one single week. No one expected it. No one believed humans could do this fast. The destruction of the Zaloth Empire's main fleet spread through every civilization like wildfire. News channels repeated the same question again and again. How did humans do this? The galaxy was not afraid of human power. The galaxy was afraid of human anger, because for the first time ever, they understood humans did not strike for conquest, or resources, or glory. Humans struck because they were disrespected. No other species ever used war for respect enforcement. This was a terrifying new style of warfare. The Zaloth Empire panicked first. Their council demanded immediate emergency peace talks. They sent diplomats to Earth within the same day. Their ships did not carry weapons. They did not even activate defense systems. They arrived with white flags glowing. From every side, Earth refused to even open the transmission for the first 12 hours. This silence was more frightening than words. Then every other empire also began sending messages asking for negotiation. One by one, the same species that laughed at humans during the summit were now apologizing. They claimed misunderstanding. They claimed cultural difference. They claimed they never intended to insult Earth. But Earth saw the broadcast. Earth saw the mockery. Earth understood exactly what they meant. Human High Council held a private emergency session. They watched every alien apology message. They listened. They stayed calm. They took notes. And not once did they express forgiveness. Admiral Kieran Sol sat at the center of the council chamber, hands folded, expression showing nothing. "We will not rush negotiation," he said. The council agreed. "We pick the time. We pick the terms." They are the ones who begged. Human retaliation had not even reached full speed. The black box protocol had multiple stages. Stage 1 was only the demonstration. Stage 2 was the pressure phase. And Stage 3 was something the galaxy could not even imagine. Earth now prepared Stage 2. The galaxy watched humans remain silent again. But this time, silence was no longer weakness. This silence was the shadow before a storm. The alien coalition, terrified of human escalation, formed a united peace committee made from 18 empires. They traveled to Earth orbit with full diplomatic permissions, hoping humans would finally listen. Their ships waited outside Earth's orbit like nervous children waiting to see a strict teacher. They were afraid to cross Earth space without permission. They sent communication request. "We request peaceful negotiation. We request discussion. We request terms for de-escalation." Earth replied with one single short message. Wait, that one word sent deeper fear across every species. What were humans preparing? What were humans calculating? What exactly would humanity demand? No one knew, and the longer the wait continued, the more panic spread. Some empires even moved fleets far away from Earth territory, hoping distance would protect them. Others tried shutting off communication grids to avoid becoming targets, but Earth did not attack again. Earth was patient. Human anger was patient. Kieran Sol stood inside Earth Defense Command. His officers were waiting for orders. Should we accept their peace terms now? One general asked. Kieran answered slowly, "No, not yet. They insulted us publicly. They must fear us publicly. They must learn the cost of disrespect. The galaxy must understand humans are not weak." He ordered one small fleet movement. Human drones began positioning themselves around strategic jump lanes. They were not firing. They were not attacking. They were simply blocking routes, quietly. This was stage 2. The message was subtle but extremely powerful. You are not in control anymore. The Alien Peace Committee panicked again. They sent second request, more desperate this time. "We request immediate talk. Please tell us what Earth demands." Earth responded with another single line. "You are not worthy yet." Those 5 words shattered every empire psychologically. Aliens had always believed humans were emotional, soft, naive, easy to manipulate. But now they watched humans use psychological warfare with cold precision. Humans were showing something more terrifying than power. Humans understood control. The galaxy now realized something they never understood before. Humans do not explode instantly when insulted. Humans become silent. Then humans become unstoppable. And now no one knew how far humanity planned to go. Kieran Sol finally prepared the next stage. He stood at the center of Earth Command and spoke quietly. "It is time the galaxy learns our true history. They believe we evolved in comfort. They believe we are weak because we choose peace. They do not understand what Earth really is." His officers nodded. "Tomorrow we reveal the truth. Let them see where humans came from." Humanity would now show the galaxy why human evolution was shaped by struggle, survival, unforgiving environment, and never-ending battles. This would not be explanation. This would be revelation. And after that revelation, the galaxy would never again think humans were weak. The next cycle, humanity finally spoke to the galaxy. Not to negotiate, not to apologize, not to defend themselves, but to reveal the truth. Earth opened one single broadcast channel to every empire, every government, every civilian network in the galaxy. No empire could block it. No military could jam it. Every screen across every star system suddenly displayed the same visual. The Earth. Blue, white clouds, green land. A world that looked peaceful. But the narration that followed was not peaceful at all. Admiral Kieran Sol's voice echoed, "You think we are weak because you see peace. You think we are gentle because we choose not to strike. You think we are harmless because we prefer progress over destruction." The screen zoomed closer to Earth's jungles, deserts, oceans, volcanoes, storms. "You do not understand where we come from." The broadcast shifted to Earth's ancient timeline. Meteor impacts, mass extinction events, supervolcano eruptions, ice ages, world wars, plague eras. Everything that nearly ended humans again and again. Earth was a death world. Every creature on Earth evolved through danger. Every species on Earth had to fight to survive. Humanity grew on a world that tried to kill them every single day. Humanity learned patience because instant anger wasted energy. Humanity learned control because emotion without strategy led to extinction. Kieran's voice continued. Peace was never our birth condition. Peace was something we created. We earned peace. We built civilization out of chaos. Aliens stared in shock. They never knew Earth history like this. They never saw a planet this violent, this unstable, this unforgiving. For thousands of years, humans fought each other long before we ever met another species. We created fire from ashes. We built technology from scrap. We survived everything our world threw against us. Images flashed of ancient wars, soldiers marching, tanks burning, collapsing cities, then rebuilding after every destruction. We are peaceful now, not because we are weak, but because we learned the price of war. The stream showed historical human battles where millions died. The aliens watching trembled. They never imagined a species could survive such cycles. Kieran concluded with a final message. Every alien at the summit believed humans were harmless. They believed our quiet meant weakness. They believed insults could break us, but what you called weakness was restraint. The signal shifted again, showing the black box of Mars deep underground. And when you broke that restraint, you awakened something you cannot stop. The stream ended. For 30 seconds after, the entire galaxy was silent. Every Empire Council froze. Every fleet command froze. Every citizen froze. For the first time, they understood humanity lived on difficulty since birth. Humans were shaped by survival. Humans were not peaceful because they lacked ability to destroy. Humans were peaceful because they knew destruction too well. That was the difference. Aliens never saw this type of history. None of them came from a world that brutal. They evolved. In comfort worlds, stable climates, low predator count, predictable ecosystems. They never experienced the kind of evolutionary pressure humans did. Now the galaxy finally understood. If anger came from that species, it would not be small anger. It would be catastrophic. Earth Council watched the reaction across the galaxy. Some empires cried panic. Some empires shut down their news networks. Some empires ordered their fleets to retreat as far from human territory as possible. Some empires began preparing evacuation plans. Fear was everywhere, and humans still had not demanded anything. Kieran knew the next stage would decide the fate of the entire galaxy. The purpose of Part 5 broadcast was not to threaten anyone. It was to change how the galaxy viewed humans permanently. Humans had now one goal. Respect must not be optional anymore. Earth Command gathered again. Kieran stood at the center and spoke only one sentence. We moved to the final phase, Stage 3. Human War Armada activation. Humanity kept this armada secret for generations. No alien knew the scale. No alien knew the size. No alien even imagined such a hidden force could exist. The armada did not launch until anger threshold was crossed, and now it was crossed fully. Deep under Saturn's rings, deep under Europa's icy seas, deep inside asteroid belts, massive hidden carriers unlocked docking clamps. Thousands of human warships began rising from secret hangars built in silence over centuries. This fleet was not for conquest. This fleet was only built to make sure no empire in the galaxy ever insulted Earth again. Admiral Kieran Sol looked upon the tactical star map as the human armada began assembling into formation. This is not vengeance, he whispered. This is correction. The galaxy thought humans were weak. The galaxy now knew where humans came from, and they would soon know what humanity becomes when survival anger becomes action. The galaxy thought they already understood human nature. They thought humans were only dangerous when provoked. They thought humans were only aggressive when pushed into defense. But in Part 6, the galaxy learned something far more terrifying. Humans did not wait for the war to come to them. When the ET Council returned to discuss the threat of the swarm, the hall was silent. There were no jokes this time. There was no mocking. There were no insulting comments about Earth jokes and Earth emotions. The entire hall was filled with fear, but humanity did not look afraid. The human ambassador stood straight in the center of the chamber. His voice was steady, calm, controlled. He said only one line. We already know where the swarm is gathering, and we are not waiting for them to strike first. Those words spread like fire through the entire assembly. Invisible panic went through every species in that room. For thousands of years, the Council believed attacking before being attacked was a crime, a rule, a galactic moral law. War was only allowed when someone else started first. Humans did not ask permission. Humans did not negotiate about this. Humanity simply decided it was time. Later that same night, every council ship detected something impossible in their long-range sensors. Behind the moon of the capital system, behind the shadow of empty darkness, thousands of human ships uncloaked. Silence filled every channel. These were not old ships. These were not retired peacekeeper vessels. These were warships built for one purpose only: rule the end of the universe. They looked like flying black monoliths. They had no visible weapon ports. They produced no sound. They produced no light. It felt like the void itself became a fleet. Some alien officers whispered to themselves that humanity must have been preparing this fleet long before the summit. This was never a reaction. This was a plan waiting to be triggered. The swarm was gathering in a system near the galactic rim. Everyone knew that if the swarm moved, they would destroy every planet in their path, consuming everything alive, except humanity refused to let even the first step of that happen. The council begged Earth, "Wait, we must vote, we must follow protocol." Humanity answered with calm, cold logic. You had centuries to vote. You had centuries to act. Now it is too late for paperwork. The line was crossed, and humanity crossed it first. When the fleet began moving, the stars behind them looked like they were bending. Every ship vanished not with light, but with silent dark tunnels ripping open in space. This was not normal warp. This was not hyperspace. This was something different, something superior. Humans called it grave drive. It was technology the galaxy never saw before. They folded space not forward, but inward, like collapsing dimensions into a point and stepping across the fold. The Council could not even track them, even the ancient empires, the ones thousands of years older than Earth, stood frozen. They could not copy this. They could not understand this. For the first time in millennia, the galaxy realized a horrifying truth. Humans were no longer the new species on the scene. Humanity had become a species that invented technology beyond the old laws and limitations the galaxy obeyed. And if humans created this level of power quietly, in secret, just for this moment, then what else were they hiding? As the human fleet vanished toward the swarm, the council chambers remained in stunned silence for hours. Not a single species dared to speak loudly. They all whispered. Some asked one another if humans were willing to attack preemptively against the swarm. What if, one day, humans decided another threat needed to be removed before it started? The idea was terrifying because it felt logical. Humans were dangerous because they were rational, not emotional. If humanity believed the galaxy might someday return to threatening Earth again, would humans preemptively erase that threat too? Every species suddenly understood something. The summit never expected to understand. Human mercy was not natural. It was a choice. And if the galaxy forced humans into a corner again, humanity would choose war without hesitation. In the human flagship, far away from the council, the commanders prepared for the coming battle. The fleet did not sing war hymns. The fleet did not celebrate. They were quiet, serious, focused. Humanity fought war like a grim responsibility, like a task that must be done perfectly, like a job that could not be delayed. The swarm moved like a storm of living darkness, billions of bioorganic ships, a plague across the stars. Every species said it was impossible to stop them, impossible to contain them, impossible to destroy them. Humans did not believe in impossible. The flagship AI simply said to the crew, "We end this now, before it begins." And the fleet accelerated into the nightmare. The council watched from a distance, terrified and speechless. Humanity crossed a line that the galaxy refused to cross for thousands of years. And the galaxy suddenly realized that line existed because no one else had the courage to break it. But humans did. When the human fleet reached the swarm territory, there was no hesitation. No pause, no delay. The swarm believed humans would try to negotiate or try diplomacy first. The swarm expected fear, but humans came like silent judgment. The first human ship entered the heart of the swarm clouds and activated weapons the galaxy never recorded in any ancient archive. There were no laser beams, no missiles, no plasma. Space itself shifted. It was like reality folded into blades. Where the grave drive had allowed ships to travel, it now allowed ships to cut dimension space inside the swarm. Every slice of folded reality removed thousands of swarm vessels in a single, silent moment. No explosion, no fire, just instant erasure. The swarm screamed across subspace. Their pain was not physical. It was existence being removed. Back at the council, every sensor array began shaking with impossible readings. They saw the battlefield from millions of light years away. They could not see the human ships anymore. Only the massive disappearances of swarm life signals, billions erased. Every second, some species fell to their knees. Some covered their eyes. Some asked if humans were even biological anymore. The Council had always believed humanity was dangerous, but predictable. Now humanity was neither predictable nor understandable. Inside the swarm core, the human flagship reached the Swarm Queen. She was the mind of the entire hive. She commanded. She spread. She consumed. She tried speaking to the humans. She said they were wasting their time. She said if even one swarm seed survived, the swarm would grow again. She said humans cannot kill something that exists like a cosmic virus. The human commander answered calmly, "No, we are not here to kill you. We are here to end your existence as a concept." Then the humans deployed a device called Silence Protocol. Not a bomb, not a weapon, a conceptual erasure field. It denied the swarm the ability to exist anywhere in future time. Like wiping the concept of fire before fire was ever invented. The Swarm Queen screamed, but no one heard a sound. The swarm died not as individuals, but as a possibility. The battle ended without a single human death. When the human fleet returned, they did not broadcast victory. No celebration message, no war chant, no threat message. Humanity returned like nothing special happened. They landed at the capital system quietly. Their fleet cloaked again in silence behind the moon, but the galaxy was never the same. When the human ambassador stepped again into the council chamber, every species stood up immediately out of respect and fear. The same hall where humans were laughed at now felt like a place of judgment. The council asked only one question: "What do you want from us now?" Humans looked around the room slowly. "We want the galaxy to finally take responsibility. We will not rule you. We will not control you. We will not demand territory or resources. We only want one promise." The ambassador raised his hand, that never again will the galaxy ignore danger and wait for someone else to die first. The council agreed. There was no vote. There was no debate. It was automatic acceptance because they understood humans did not need the council anymore. The council needed humans. After the meeting, many species privately discussed a deeper fear: if humanity was willing to defeat a universe-scale swarm only to protect life, then what else could humans do if their patience ever ended? The galaxy realized the most terrifying truth. Humanity did not destroy the swarm because they enjoyed war. Humanity destroyed the swarm because it was necessary, and necessity made humans unstoppable. The story spread across the galaxy. Some species started to worship humanity secretly as star guardians. Some feared that humans were becoming a power beyond law, but all species agreed on one final truth. No one will ever laugh at humans again in a summit. Not in this age. Not in the next age. Not in any age that will come. Humans returned to Earth with quiet hearts. They did not brag. They did not celebrate. They simply continued building, preparing, watching, because humans were not trying to conquer the stars, they were trying to protect them. And every star now knew, if humanity ever decides something must never exist again, then that thing will not exist.